Hello. Welcome back to The Witness. So, last time, as you might recall, I said my microphone wasn't turned on. That's not in fact true. What happened was I had my microphone not set to my actual microphone. So my microphone was on, but I had the settings wrong. So, it's working now. Everything looks and sounds great. Video's recording, audio's recording. For God's sakes. We got it. Okay. So we have one more laser to get before we reach a bit of a revelation, I guess, shall we say. There's no more super easy lasers left. So I think the only thing left to do now is start tackling the harder ones. So let's go learn the Tetris rules down in this marshy area. Over here, I believe, is just a shortcut. There's a shortcut door there. And there's a shortcut door here to a strange little area, which won't mean anything to us for a while. And I don't think there's an audio log around here. And if we head up this way, this will actually take us up to the mountain. You can see this kind of cool little swamp. But if we head up high enough, I think there's an environmental puzzle here we can get. I don't think we're high enough still. Let's run up a little bit further, maybe. Can we get on this tree branch? Maybe? There we go. There's one there. And then also, if we head up here, we'll find one. Have to get up a little bit further. Right here, maybe? Well, it's there, but this might be the wrong angle. This definitely feels like it. Maybe up here? Well, shit, damn it. That's not it either. I think we're too high up. But you can probably see what I'm going for here. Maybe just like that. Come on, I know you want to. You want to. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and head back down, however way we do that. How did I get up here? Jesus, this gets confusing. Alright. And there might be another one up here, actually. Possibly? One there. This one we can't finish because the bridge is in the way. Same thing there. So we may as well just head down and start doing these puzzles. Alright, first rule, square. There we go. First rule, square. So, let's do another thing here. So, let's do this. So now we've made 3 squares. That works too. Cool. Now, 2 squares. that one seems pretty obvious. Cool. Alright. So, the thing to note here with this puzzle is you're not just making the shape. Like, this wouldn't solve the puzzle, even if I could get to the exit. What we would have to do is make the shape with this inside of it. So this works. And it doesn't matter what other shape you make as long as that piece remains in there. And there we go. So this is the... we need to get across here. So this puzzle here is basically the bridge mechanism. So this is where we currently are. This moves it to the left. This moves it to the right. So if we want to move it to the right, we just need to do this shape. Oh! Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I see what we're doing. So, another thing. Shapes can be touching. As long as the two shapes are inside and taken care of. So this works. Hopefully that makes sense. We have our 1, 2, 3 horizontal or our 1, 2, 3 vertical. So shapes can touch, and this will move us over. And there's also some puzzles like this, but they're kind of hard to get. They require moving a bunch of things, and it's not quite my thing. Let's go. Let's move. Okay. Now we can't go down there because there's still water. And we can't go in there. That gate's locked. We can only go up. So now we have some harder puzzles. So we have to have a shape here and a shape, 2 shapes here. So another thing to remember too is the horizontal line doesn't have to be like this. Again, as long as it's inside, it fits inside the shape you make. So this is going to have to go 4 across. And then we have 2 vertical lines. So... okay. So hopefully that makes sense. So basically you can imagine the 4 square horizontal line laid out right here. And then these 2, 3 vertical lines right here laid on top of it. Again, it doesn't matter the positioning of them as long as all of these shapes can fit. So here's the same puzzle, but made a little bit more difficult by the fact that we can't go in the middle there. So now we have to rearrange them a better way. So, and we couldn't go like this, or even like that, because this would be left out. So we're going to have to think a little bit harder. It knew I already went the easy route. Now it's saying, nope, no easy route now. So let's see here. Let's see. I have to at least include this box. Trying to see if there's a way, maybe cut that section out. Wait a minute. There we go. So I got my two vertical blocks right here, and then my horizontal block right here. Okay. Now, this one. So I'm imagining... Let's see here. So I have a single block and a 2 block and a 4 block, so it might make the most sense to have the 4 block in this line, and then the 1 block here, and then the 2 block here. That makes sense, doesn't it? But that would require me to go like this. Cool. Alright. And now, let's see. You don't necessarily always have to put the blocks together, so let's just start trying this. So that satisfies those two. So instead, maybe let's try... Unfortunately, I have one extra square here, so that's not going to work. But what I could do is if I connect these two together, I could technically shift the positions of these. So if I went like this, and then went like this, that would satisfy the two shapes up front. So it might make more sense for me to do... So if I went like... Yeah, that should work, right? Sexy. Hell yeah. Okay. Alright. And then we have this one. These two get pretty hard. Well, not like mega hard, you know. But it definitely... If I put this middle block in the middle of the puzzle, it could be the connector piece between these two shapes. But that means... But damn, how would I... Like, I could connect this easily enough to a 4-piece here. Or, you see what I mean. but I couldn't get these two pieces into it. Actually, yeah, I mean, it looks like I can. Yeah, my problem is coming back with the line from this way. I can't make the shape I want to. I have a little bit of an excess spot right there in the middle. So... yeah, I'm really confused as to how to get all three of these pieces to connect. Or even two of them, really. I just don't see how I can make a shape that stretches and hits all four of these points. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. What if I took this piece here and put it down here in the corner? Like this. No. Yes, maybe, no. Shit. I couldn't put a piece there. I feel like the only way to extend and connect these three pieces would be to have these two L shapes touching each other, and this one being somewhere in the middle possibly, but I wouldn't know how to put it down here and then connect something up here, because the left part of the blocks are two squares apiece, and so they wouldn't fit here. Wait a minute. Why did I not... I had this fucking image in my head. Why did I not... Why could I not replicate it? Come on. Jesus Christ. This one's even easier. Just fucking swap them. Swap the position. Good God. Fuck me. Alright. Taking a little break from that shit. I believe there's a sweet little... That's another puzzle area, by the way. I believe there's an audio log somewhere around here. You're around here somewhere. There you are.
We have two kinds of knowledge which I call symbolic and intimate. I do not know whether it would be correct to say that reasoning is only applicable to symbolic knowledge, but the more customary forms of reasoning have been developed for symbolic knowledge only. The intimate knowledge will not submit to codification and analysis, or rather, when we attempt to analyze it, the intimacy is lost and replaced by symbolism. For an illustration, let us consider humor. I suppose that humor can be analyzed to some extent and the essential ingredients of the different kinds of wit classified. Suppose that we are offered an alleged joke. We subject it to scientific analysis as we would a chemical salt of doubtful nature, and perhaps after careful consideration, we are able to confirm that it really and truly is a joke. Logically, I suppose, our next procedure would be to laugh. but it may certainly be predicted that as the result of this scrutiny, we shall have lost all inclination we ever had to laugh at it. It simply does not do to expose the workings of a joke. The classification concerns a symbolic knowledge of humor, which preserves all the characteristics of a joke except its laughableness. The real appreciation must come spontaneously, not introspectively. I think this is a not unfair analogy for our mystical feeling for nature, and I would venture even to apply it to our mystical experience of God. There are some to whom the sense of a divine presence irradiating the soul is one of the most obvious things of experience. In their view, a man without this sense is to be regarded as we regard a man without a sense of humor. The absence as a kind of mental deficiency. We may try to analyze the experience as we analyze humor and construct a theology, or it may be an atheistic philosophy. But let us not forget that the theology is symbolic knowledge, whereas the experience is intimate knowledge. And as laughter cannot be compelled by the scientific exposition of the structure of a joke, so a philosophic discussion of the attributes of God, or an impersonal substitute, is likely to miss the intimate response of the spirit, which is the central point of the religious experience. Arthur Eddington, 1927.
Okay. And if we continue along this way, I think that's the only audio log in this area, we'll find a cool little visual thing here. So we see the statue of a woman on top of this cage. But what's really cool, and this is far away, right? This is on the top of the mountain. What's really cool is if you stand just like this, they're holding hands. Even though that statue, we've been on her head, is fucking mammoth. It's cool. It's cool. I like that shit. Over here, we're gonna find a boat. Which we won't bother taking now, but we will be using it eventually. What's interesting is if we come over here, we can get a environmental puzzle. And I don't remember, it might be the only one from this angle, but alright, let us go back, because we're not anywhere near done. It gets even harder. So we need to go back down to the new gate that opened up. And we start getting some more crazy shapes. So this one is the grid of the puzzle, and this could fit right in the middle. So there we go. These two can overlay each other and make a simple square. So there we go. And the same thing with this here. It's kind of like you're just making an L shape by putting this there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Know what I mean, Byron? Do you know that reference? Whatever. Whatever. Okay, now this one. Imagine we could go like that for that shape. if we went like... This is confusing me. What if I went like that? Okay. Yeah. More. Okay, so here we have a new rule. Within the new rule. If they're tilted like this, that means that you can move them and change their direction. So, this one is straight up. This one can be like this. Why not? This one can be like this. There we go. This one could be like this, I believe. Wait, like that. And this one we can go like this, I would imagine. Yeah. 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 Okay. So over here, let's see. So to move this, we have to shift its positions. So we want it to go to purple. Red doesn't work. God, I forget how this thing works. Oh, okay. So, what we need to do is we need to make the shape of where we want it to connect. So like that. And then to solve the puzzle, we still have to make these selections. So that should move us to connecting with the purple and the red, I think. Unless I'm absolutely wrong. Maybe. Maybe. I think we got it. But guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. So blue and black. Because there's nothing fucking over there. At least not yet. So let's solve this puzzle the other direction. We still need to drain the pool. Okay. So, I mean, they're getting a little bit more complicated, but really the idea remains the same. This one, we can go ahead and work like that. And this one, we could go ahead and go like that. And let's see here. If we... So that should work. If we basically attach the little two-piece onto the edge of the T shape, that should work. And then... yeah. Okay. Now this one... If we combine that... I mean, that should work, shouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. And this one, if we put the little side shapes. Blah, 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 blah. So like that. Fuck. Oh. Okay. Well, we got something draining. Did it drain the other one that I went to or wanted to go to? I can't tell. It certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Well, let's go ahead and go down here. Oh, here we go. Here we learn a new rule within the other rule that we just learned. So, this is a subtraction. So this is telling us to remove one block from our solution. So this would not work. This would work. We're making it a 2 square. Same thing here. Because it says subtract 2, we're making it a 2 square. Same thing here. We're going to subtract 1 from the square. But we still have to have the subtraction inside. So this one, basically, is just one big square, but we just need to remove 2. And this one threw me for a loop for some reason, because I was having difficulty finding a way to connect these. But this one is actually kind of silly if you think about it. You're literally just going like this, and we're going to say, this square right here is the one we're removing. There we go. Those weren't too bad. And I think this pool probably is drained now, so let's go ahead and reconnect these two. Yeah. And here's an audio log.
A poet once said, "The whole universe is in a glass of wine." We will probably never know in what sense he meant that, for poets do not write to be understood. But it is true that if we look at a glass of wine closely enough, we see the entire universe. There are the things of physics, the twisting liquid which evaporates depending on the wind and weather, the reflections in the glass, and our imagination adds the atoms. The glass is a distillation of the Earth's rocks, and in its composition we see the secrets of the universe's age and the evolution of stars. What strange array of chemicals are in the wine? How did they come to be?
Drunk.
There are the ferments, the enzymes, the substrates, and the products. There in wine is found the great generalization. All life is fermentation. Nobody can discover the chemistry of wine without discovering, as did Louis Pasteur, the cause of much disease. How vivid is the claret, pressing its existence into the consciousness that watches it. If our small minds, for some convenience, divide this glass of wine, this universe, into parts, physics, biology, geology, astronomy, psychology, and so on, remember that nature does not know it. So let us put it all back together, not forgetting ultimately what it is for. Let it give us one more final pleasure. Drink it and forget it all. Richard Feynman, 1963.
At least he said something that makes sense, right? Okay. So there's an environmental puzzle here. If we back up enough to let the colors blend, we can kind of go. And the same thing might be possible here. Okay. I remember this one being really hard until I kind of realized that the easiest way to deal with this puzzle is to simply count how many blocks there are in the puzzle. Squares, I mean. Count how many squares in your blocks, and then just subtract how many you don't need and make sure that all the pieces are in there. When I did that, it became really simple. There we go. And that is just a bonus puzzle. That doesn't get you anything. So we're done here. We can go ahead and connect blue and black again. Excuse me? Did we miss some? I missed some goddamn puzzles. You see that? Excuse me. There's a whole other side I missed. Unacceptable. And then that area is drained too, so we'll go back into that. Must hurry. Bored. Well, these should be pretty simple now that we managed to skip these. Huh? There we go. Alright. Let's go back. What a noob move. There's our laser. There it is. We're coming for you, laser. We're coming for you. Hurry. Hurry, hurry. So this is an interesting puzzle. There's moving components. So this is attached to the bridge. So if we do this, as it moves back, solve that puzzle. Now, let's look at this nonsense. So, if we just remove a block off the top, this should be just fine. Now this one... Blah, 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 blah. If we remove a block from each one, this should be fine. And this one... Which one would I remove? Let's see. So the 4 square, or the across the top, if I removed one from the bottom block, then this would work. Okay. Now this one, I mean, it doesn't really matter the shape of the subtraction. You can remove it from multiple blocks, remember, as long as it works, as long as all the pieces can still fit together in the new shape that you're removing it from, if that makes any sense. Now this one's freaking weird. Again, you're kind of imagining this whole puzzle as this, minus the squares that we can do like this with. Fitting this in there and then removing 2 blocks. It's really not complicated when you kind of imagine what you have to do. So that should be fine right there. I probably don't explain these very well. I'm sorry. I think we have this one finally is drained. Okay. Now, this one I'm guessing is nothing. Yeah. This one I'm guessing is also nothing. Can I move in? No, this one... Can this one be nothing? No. But... if I make this shape... So... Again... So this is just making the subtractions harder because it's saying... It's basically saying, like... You have to, at least in your subtraction shape, have everything in there. So basically... These 4 subtraction squares are eliminating this entirely. Which means all I have to do is make this shape. Now here... Now, this one's strange because it makes you think that it should be 0, but we can't get to the end here. Oh, okay, so I have to basically make 2 shapes of nothing. So, basically, I'm going to go like this. So does that make sense? So, in the bottom shape, the U, I have 3 subtraction squares subtracting the L-shaped block, so basically that space is nothing, and the same thing for the top. That one threw me for a loop a long time ago. This shit gets diabolical, man. The only reason I'm not just raging right now is those, these super duper hard ones like this, I had to commit to memory because I spent so much time on them. This is a final strange little area, so we need to get this platform lowered, and we have a puzzle that when you the 2 squares that you subtract are the ones that will lower. So what we need to do is create ourselves a path. If that makes sense. So we want to go this way. So that means we want to remove 2 squares on this side. And there we go. Easy peasy for sheezy. And then we come up here. And we get our laser. Yay! That wasn't so bad. Yeah? Yeah? While that's working on that laser. Yeah, there's another path over here. We do technically have one more puzzle we can do to open up this shortcut door. And let's see here. Oh, no, that cut that piece off. That would cut it off. We don't want to do that. Why does this seem silly to me? Why is this throwing me for a loop? After everything I've learned in this area. So I just need, like, couldn't this work? Oh, fucking, why? This is what's funny about this game. Like, why did I just forget all of the rules? Because I literally just solved this puzzle over here and I'm just not thinking of those rules anymore. God. Ugh. Alright, well, another puzzle solved, and we've got 7 lasers on that mountain. So maybe it might be time to go check out what that's about. However, to get out of here, I need to go through the door we opened. And let's take a trip up the mountain. Now that we've got our 7 lasers. Yeah! Look at that. But now we have to try to get these locks off. But, you know, this level has gone on quite a bit long, so we'll go ahead and deal with this next episode. As we use these statues to try to get around where we're supposed to go. So, this seems like a perfectly good place to end it. So thank you again. Sorry for the audio issues last time. But this one went a little bit better. Thank you for bearing with me. I will catch you next time. Goodbye.